Hello everyone and welcome to the Inspire series with me, Gloria Dozian. I started the Inspire series because I wanted to empower women. I wanted us to learn how to live, love, pray, and be inspired. So join me on this wonderful journey of self-discovery where anything and everything is achievable. The Inspire series features lively guests, all of whom are living the life they only dreamed about. And you can too. Hello everyone and welcome to the Inspire series. This is a bit of an emotional, a bit of an emotional episode, I would say, because it's the final episode of the very first season of the Inspire series. For the last 9 episodes, we've had various amazing guests, but I thought for this one I should do something a bit different and just answer a lot of questions that people have been asking me. So I'm the guest as well as the host today on the Inspire series. Okay, so I get this question a lot. Why did I decide to start doing the Inspire series? There are many answers to that question, but I'll narrow it down to 2 main points. The first was I wanted something to live for. Okay, what do I mean by that? I felt like I had done everything society wanted me to do. I had become everything that I was meant to. Like my parents, I had gone to school at the right time, I had done this, I had done that. But then I felt that there were other parts of me I hadn't explored. There was a different side to Gloria. I was meeting amazing women who were living above what society expected of them. They were going and they were doing ambitious things. And I wanted to become like these women. I wanted to understand how they were able to reach for the stars and actually get there. So I thought, okay, you know what? I'm sure there are other people like me that are trying to find out what this thing called life is about and what success is about and how we can actually be inspired to succeed and to live above conformities, if you like. So I thought, okay, maybe why don't I just interview these women? And that's how the Inspire series started. In a way, it came out of a selfish desire, because I wanted more out of life, I think that's the second point. I wanted more out of life. So in a way, I see Inspire series as an extension of myself. It's something that, it's not just something I do. It's, in a way, I think it sounds cheesy, but I think it's something that I was supposed to do, or I am supposed to do. You know, I had a lot of fears. There were a lot. But then one of them was, you know, would people accept me, I guess? Because obviously I'm not the typical girl in front of the TV. You know, I'm not a size 8, you know, I'm not the typical weave wearing, and there's nothing wrong with any of those things. But I think I was very aware that I was maybe a representative of a different genre or type of woman. And I was worried that people wouldn't accept that the first thing people would say is, you need to go and lose weight, you need to stop eating. And you know, you see all these comments online and you just think, oh my God, I'm exposing myself to all of that. Why do I need to do that, you know? So yeah, I think my biggest worry was acceptance. And if anybody would watch it, like, people have different sources of inspiration. Why do they need Gloria Dozian to come and tell them, oh, be inspired, you know? And so I was wondering, will people care? Is this just going to be a drop of tissue down a bottomless well? Like, will anybody even notice? Will I make any impact? I think those were my 2 biggest fears. People's experience is the strongest part of them. I think what you live through, what you overcome, is such a powerful thing. Not only does it make you who you are going to be in the future, it also inspires others. Many of the guests that were on the show, I had never met them before. Their stories impacted me. It made me realize, first of all, it made me see my own challenges as very small. Like, for example, we had Nike on the show who had her limb amputated at 20. I mean, and I just think about it like, Gloria, no matter what you think you've gone through in this life, you haven't gone through that. So it also made me see, if Nike, you know, could have gone through this and come out on the other side stronger, and I mean, you look at her and you would never notice, then Gloria, what's your problem? So I think stories are a source of inspiration, they're a source of strength, they're a source of power, and there are always things that you can go back to and say, okay, you know what, Gloria, or if so and so person did that, you can do better, you can do more. So I think stories are incredibly powerful. like I said before, like most of the guests I had on the show, I had never met them before. I had heard of them, but I had never met all of them before. So it was, in a way, as the audience was watching and learning, I was also watching and learning, because many of their stories I was just hearing for the very first time as I was talking to them. So I learned a lot of things. From Lydia, I learned how to look at what validates me and how to redefine success. I think for a long time, I saw success as something that, you know, it was what people said. So if someone said I was successful, then I saw myself as successful. But by interviewing Lydia, I realized that success is doing what I want to do, and just being able to do that, even if nobody notices, even if 7 people turn up, it doesn't matter. That glory, you wanted to go from point A to point B, that is success. I learned from Yvonne that God doesn't make mistakes. So no matter what has happened to me in life, no matter what will happen to me, it's not a mistake. It is part of God's plan, part of God's purpose. From Noble, Ufoma Jenobo, and Wale Adetula, I learned a lot. I learned that I really need to think about this thing called marriage and how I define potential in a man, because clearly my definition was not quite correct. From Sheung on Judgmental Women, I learned that the reason why I've probably judged women in the past was because, in a way, I was insecure. And I needed to be in touch with myself. I needed to be introspective. I learned so many things. I learned from Nike that, you know, whatever happens to you in life, it's not meant to break you. It's meant to make you stronger, and other people can learn from your experiences. But I think in all, if I was to sum everything up that my guests taught me, I would say that they taught me that life is a journey, and sometimes you fall, but the most important thing is to get up. But then also the most important thing is to know who you are. I think that was a central theme that ran through the Inspire series, was know who you are called to be and what you want to do, and follow that relentlessly. I think that was my biggest lesson. What have I discovered about myself before, during, and after? Well, I guess I've always known this. I'm disorganized. I'm a very disorganized person. Oh my goodness. In fact, really was the grace of God. Some of these shoots, you know, sometimes I'd be running 3 hours late, 4 hours late. Some guests would turn up and they'd be like, I've been waiting for an hour. I have another appointment. I'll have to get another guest to come and fill in. So I learned that, okay, if I thought I was disorganized before, now this is disorganization multiplied by a power of 10. I learned that there is nothing I can't do. And I know that sounds crazy in a way, but I realized that, I literally was lying in bed and I came up with this idea, and I've done it. So I think I also learned that, you know, all these dreams I have in my head, all these things I want to do, they're not just dreams. I can actually achieve them if I walk towards it. During the show, I learned the importance of friendships during the show. A lot of friends, a lot of people came through for me like you wouldn't believe. You know, I made new friends through the Inspire series, and some friendships were strengthened during the Inspire series. After the show, I learned what it feels like to be happy. Not happy because of money or because of anything external, but just happy in me that, oh Glory, you've moved, you've accomplished this thing that only you understand how important it is to you. I think I learned how to be happy. Oh, wow, my memorable moments on the show. That's a really difficult one to answer, because every show is memorable for different reasons. What was most memorable across was the connection between me and my guests. Like I said, some of them, it was the very first time I was meeting them. Some of them, okay, for example, someone like Shay, I had never met her before. And I remember just sitting down and listening to her talk. And I remember thinking to myself, this girl has so much substance. Like, it's not even about, you know, what she does on stage. You know, sometimes you see people, you hear of them, but when you meet them, you have a different experience of them. And I think Shay was somebody that, you know, my experience of her was so positive. I remember Kemi Adetiba, and I remember looking at her and I was just thinking, this is someone who has strength. This is a woman who is formidable, who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to go after it. Some of the memorable moments I have are even after the show. I remember Kemi Adetiba coming to meet me and saying, you know, you're doing an amazing thing here, and anything you need, any help you need, I'll be there for you. And I remember feeling so touched by that, because she didn't have to do that, but you know, she was willing to go out of her way for me. And I remember Wana, like sometimes the things Wana says, I'm like, damn, this girl, you are smart. You know, you are just intelligent. I remember Nelly, you know, talking about her struggle with food and how she turned that around. I remember Nikki and Bassi, when they started crying on the show. I mean, some parts we had to cut that out, but I remember thinking, panicking. I remember thinking, oh my God, they're crying. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I remember when I was, you know, backstage going, keep rolling, keep rolling. And I was confused, you know. But I think what I took away from those moments were the sincerity of my guests and how they were willing to be open and raw about their experiences, you know. And so they're just different memorable moments. I remember Sheung, you know, making me laugh, you know, when she said she was asking God, will you bless me in a skinny body or in a fat body? And after that, she went and had a muffin. And you know, some days I'm just in my room and I remember that moment and I just keep laughing. So, I mean, there are different moments, and all of the episodes are memorable. At a point, I had a crisis of confidence. I'll be honest, I thought I was doing rubbish. I thought nobody was watching, nobody cared, you know, it didn't matter. And if I stopped, nobody would notice, you know. And I remember I went into depression. And when as anybody is, when they're a bit depressed, you go into yourself. So I went into myself, and I remember Wana, she kept calling me, like, what's wrong with you? Where are you? Nobody's seeing you, what's going on? And finally we had a conversation, you know, and I just, you know, told her how I felt, you know, and she said, you know, take everything a step at a time, bite-sized steps, you know. And so yeah, I did. I mean, I still do. Right now I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, what are you even doing? You know, I have it every day. Every time I'm trying to organize a new shoot, get people, or, you know, get guests on the show, release a new video, I always have that, you know, why are you doing this, Glory? You know, and I remember somebody told me that I need to write down why I started the Inspire series on a sheet of paper and keep it in my wallet. So anytime I have that crisis of confidence, I bring it out to remind myself why I started. That women are weak. You know, that is such a misconception, that we are the weaker sex. We need a man to be validated. My guess, if anything, showed that is so opposite from the truth. Of course, you know, women should be in relationships if they choose to be. But I think women I think we are just wonderful. I think we go through so much and we keep standing, you know. And not only the women on my show, the women I meet every day, the women I see every day, you know, they all wear their battle scars with pride, you know. And for me, there's nothing as inspirational as that. You know, I have to say that the feedback I've gotten so far has been positive, and I'm so thankful. You wouldn't understand how thankful I am, because every time when I go and look at the comments, you know, my heart is in my mouth. I'm not breathing until I've read through all the comments, you know, because I'm like, someone is surely going to abuse my makeup today. Someone is surely going to tell me, who told you you're a host? My friend, go and sit down. You know, somebody is surely going to tell me something like that. But the comments, and I think another thing that I realize is that, you know, people are looking for not just this show, but shows like that, and that the audience is actually very discerning. We can't just come and give people the same humdrum thing every time. People are actually seeking for purpose. They are wanting more out of their life, and they're looking for platforms that will help them to achieve that. That's what I found anyway. Yeah, so I think people are looking for sources of inspiration, and you know, people aren't easily fooled. They know when you're faking it, and they know when you are speaking the truth. You know, the audience is very discerning. You know, a lot of women have had different experiences, but sometimes we don't understand how these experiences crystallize to help us with our future. So I'm hoping that people who watched my guests, those experiences that they felt were familiar to them, you know, I hope that they had a shared connection with those women on my show, and even because I did have a few men, you know, and I hope we all learned something that would help us in the future. There's so many people I have to thank, and I hope I just remember to mention everyone's name, because I really have to mention them. They all deserve special mention. The first is Bella Naija and the entire family, staff of Bella Naija, staff and family of Bella Naija, and families to come of Bella Naija. They have been so supportive. Uche, Adirunke, Julian, Jite, Damilare, everybody in Bella Naija family, thank you so much. Thank you. They've been amazing. They've been so supportive. And for me, it's just amazing. The photographer that did my shoots, Toby Maguire, made me look more beautiful than I ever imagined I would look in this life. You know, thank you so much. Veronica, my stylist for the shoots, she was amazing. Thank you so much, and all her staff. Shomaya, I can tell you that I didn't wake up like this. This is Shomaya, Elaine Shomajo's handiwork, and you know, thank you so much. I have to thank the technical team, Mr. Agbenga Kintoku. Hey, I really have to thank him, because Mr. Agbenga has been a silent partner in this Inspire series. I mean, you guys don't see him, but I'm seeing him right now because he's behind the camera, and you know, that's where he is, and that's where he's comfortable being. But you know, he has done so much. Thank you to everyone that has worked with him on the G Network's platform. But I think, you know, sometimes I call Mr. Agbenga and I'm upset, I'm shouting, Mr. Agbenga, you know, this edited version, it was not this, it was not that, blah, blah, blah. He'll just be quiet. He won't even say anything to me. When I now finish, he'll say, okay, but it won't be ready today, till next week. No matter how much I shout, you know. So I think he has understood that, you know, my personality, and he just lets me be. But at the end of the day, he gives me facts, and you know, I'm so grateful to him. I wouldn't have been able to do I don't know anything about camera. I don't know anything about lights. I went to meet Mr. Agbenga one day outside church, and I said, look, I'm thinking of starting this thing, and he just rolled with me. And you know, I don't know, just a God-sent partnership. That's what it was, a God-sent partnership. You know, I'm so grateful to God that not that he has given me this platform, but that one, he willed it for me to do this and gave me the opportunity to do it. Forever grateful, forever grateful. Thank you, God. What is next for Inspire Series? Season 2 is next. I think I'm addicted now to Inspire Series. I think I'm on a high in a way. So we've had season 1. Season 2 hopefully is going to come out early next year. I can't wait to meet the new guest. I can't wait for you to meet the new guest, the new look and feel of the show. I can't wait. So I can't wait to work with the people that I have been working with on season 1 and the new people I'm going to meet on season 2. And I can't wait to show you guys what we've been doing and what we are planning. But then also, I would really like for season 2 to be a community effort. And what I mean by that is people who have watched the show. I mean, tell me who inspires you. Who would you like to see on the Inspire series? I mean, I think when I started this show, I thought I would need popular people to validate the show. I thought I would need to get celebrities and all of that. But I realized that even though, you know, celebrities have valid stories, but even people that you don't know, a lot of people that I think have been the stars on Inspire series were people nobody had ever heard of before, except they were like your friend or your relative. And I think that's the importance of stories, is that it can come from, you can be inspired by anyone, you know. So shoot me an email, follow me on Facebook and send me a Facebook email. on Instagram and tell me who inspires you. Who would you like to see on the show? Do you have a story that you feel would inspire others? I'm welcome. I will welcome you on the show anytime. Just let me know. So email me on glory@inspiredbyglory.com. You can follow. I think it's coming up on the screen now. Glory@inspiredbyglory. Or is it coming this way? Anyone, send me a tweet, whatever it is. Please like us follow our YouTube channel, Inspired by Glory. Inspired by Glory is the key. So, Inspired by Glory YouTube channel, Inspired by Glory on Twitter, Inspired by Glory on Instagram, and our website. Oh, how could I forget? www.inspiredbyglory.com.